All right, let's talk about something really cool today, red teaming. It's this wild idea where the good guys, the ethical hackers, basically have to think and act like the bad guys, all to make our digital world a whole lot safer.
I mean, it really all boils down to this one simple but incredibly important question, right? How do you find your weak spots before somebody with bad intentions does it for you? Because just waiting around to get hit, well, that's not really a strategy, is it? You got to be proactive.
And that's exactly where red teaming comes into play. The key thing to get here is the scope. We're not just talking about scanning some code for bugs. Oh no. A red team is authorized to simulate a full-on, real-world attack that targets an organization's entire defense system. Its people, its processes, and its technology. It's the ultimate stress test for everything from firewalls to how an employee reacts to a sketchy-looking email.
So you might be wondering, how did these ethical hackers know what a real attack even looks like? It's not like they're just guessing. They use a standardized playbook, and the absolute gold standard in the industry is something called the MITRE ATT&CK framework.
Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to picture a massive, incredibly detailed menu of every possible move an attacker could make. It's this giant knowledge base of adversary behaviors, and it gives security pros a common language to talk about, and more importantly, defend against cyber attacks.
And this menu is organized in a really smart way. It's all broken down into what the pros call TTPs. That's tactics, techniques, and procedures. So the tactic is the what, the high-level goal, like gain initial access. The technique is the how they do it, say through a phishing email. And the procedure? That's the super specific, nitty-gritty detail of how they pull off that phishing attack. This structure is what lets red teams build attack scenarios that are terrifyingly realistic.
Which brings us to this classic setup. You've got the red team, our ethical attackers, doing everything they can to break in, and then you have the blue team, that's the organization's everyday security staff, whose job is to defend the castle. But here's the secret sauce. The blue team has no idea a test is even happening. That surprise is what makes it real. It ensures their response is genuine, and it gives a true measure of how ready they are for an actual attack.
Okay, so let's move from theory to the real world and a place where the stakes could not be higher, the financial sector. A breach there could be catastrophic. To deal with this, European authorities created a very specific framework for red teaming banks called TIBER EU.
And just look at the language here from the European Central Bank. They're not messing around. It explicitly says the goal is to mimic the TTPs, those tactics, techniques, and procedures we just talked about, of real-life threat actors. It's all about making the simulation feel as real as humanly possible.
What TIBER EU really does is it creates a single, standardized playbook for all the major financial players across Europe. This way, a bank in Spain is getting tested with the same level of intensity as one in France. It creates this common, incredibly high bar for security across the entire system.
Now, this isn't just a simple two-player game. A TIBER EU test is a massive production with a whole cast of characters. You've got the internal control team at the bank, a national test manager overseeing everything, a threat intelligence provider who figures out the most likely real-world attacks, and then finally, the external red team that actually executes the mission. It is a huge coordinated effort.
And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale and intensity we're talking about, get a load of this. A full-on TIBER EU test is so expensive and requires so many resources that big banks are typically only expected to do one every 3 years. Yeah, this is not your average weekend fire drill.
Okay, so that's finance. But what about the next big frontier? I mean, how in the world do you red team something as new, as complex as artificial intelligence? Well, let's meet a tool that was built for exactly that, Garrick.
Garrick is pretty much a red team in a box, but specifically for large language models, or LLMs. You know, the powerful AI engines behind tools like ChatGPT. It's an open source project, and it's even backed by the tech giant NVIDIA. Its whole purpose is to poke and prod these AI models to find their vulnerabilities.
And its rise has been nothing short of meteoric. It was only developed in the spring of 2023, and by late 2024, it was so important that NVIDIA brought it under its official GitHub for long-term support. That kind of speed just shows you how urgent the need is for tools that can systematically check if our AI is safe and secure.
So how's it work? Well, Garrick uses this really elegant three-part system. You've got probes, which are basically the attacks trying to get the AI to misbehave.
Then you have generators, which aim those attacks at the specific LLM you're testing. And finally, you have the detectors, which analyze the AI's response to see if the attack actually worked. Did it trick the AI into giving away private info? Did it generate harmful content? The detector is the judge.
And hey, don't just take my word for how important this is. In 2024, an independent review from Fujitsu Research flat out called Garrick the leading LLM vulnerability scanner. It's quickly become an absolutely essential tool for anyone trying to build or use these powerful AI models responsibly.
So we've covered the theory, we've looked at the world of finance, and we've even peeked into the cutting edge of AI. Let's kind of bring it all home and talk about why this whole proactive mindset is so incredibly critical. So after all that, what's the one big idea you should really walk away with? What's the main point?
It's really this. Red teaming is all about building genuine, battle-tested resilience. It isn't about ticking boxes on a compliance checklist. It's a live-fire exercise that tests the whole system, the people, the processes, the tech, from the only perspective that truly matters, the attackers. By doing this, organizations don't just find a few flaws. They fundamentally get better protecting, detecting, and responding to threats. And that, in the end, is what builds our trust in everything from our banks to the AI we're all starting to use every day.
Because when you think about it, in a world where the threats are changing all the time, you just can't afford to sit back and wait to get hit. The whole philosophy here is simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Sometimes, the absolute best defense is a really good offense.